Hello, I'm Jivon and welcome back to the channel. This is the second episode of my untitled space game devlog. For those out of the loop, this game is an open world platformer with ever-changing gravity inspired by Super Mario Galaxy, in which you explore the vast reaches of the universe. In this episode, I make a character model, fix some seriously buggy interactions with the world, and think about what I actually want this game to be. As always, if you like what you see, be sure to like the video and superimpose that subscribe button, and let's jump in. Okay, first off, the player placeholder I've been using is really boring. That is just a ball. So I decided to make a new player model. I had no 3D modeling experience whatsoever, so this took a while. Started out with a pretty terrible concept sketch of an astronaut, and threw that into Blender as a reference. Progress was good, not a bit slow, but the model was looking pretty boring. I mean, it's just an astronaut. What's special about that? That's when I had an amazing idea. Oh my god. Yeah, I made the first Indiana Jones astronaut. Honestly, it's a pretty cool idea, creative and stuff. Oh, also this happened. Yeah, I don't know either. Anyway, now we have a perfectly good placeholder player model. How cool! There's no way anyone could have any regrets about that. It took 2 weeks for one model. That's not even gonna be in the final game. God freaking damn! It's fine. Everything's fine. At least the model looks pretty cool in game. It definitely didn't take 2 hours to import from Blender or anything. And then it definitely didn't take 5 more hours to make it point in the right direction when the player moves. A built-in Unity function that does that for me? Gee, I wish I knew about that 5 hours ago. Okay, actually though, it's fine. It works. Everything's fine. The shadows are a little weird, but honestly it does look pretty nice. Let's see, what else can I do? Slopes don't work, I can fix those. There were a lot of bugs related to walls and slopes, and honestly I created even more just trying to fix them. Bugs include, but are not limited to, sliding down a slope slowly instead of standing still, flying upwards when you walk into a wall, getting locked into an agonizingly slow slope slide, having smaller jumps on a slope, turning off gravity when you touch a slope, getting sent into the sky when you jump, whatever the heck this is, and many, many more. But now it works. You can jump into a wall and you slide down just fine. You don't slowly creep up and down slopes, you can actually walk on them like normal. Now I've got a fully working prototype for a platformer game that has the bare minimum possible mechanics for, a game. This is where things get more interesting. You can start adding in more new, unique mechanics and make my game feel different from the thousands of other platformers on the market. And this is where I got stuck. So far, I haven't really had a vision for where I wanted to take the game. I knew it should be a 3D platformer with a huge focus on changing gravity and exploration, but beyond that, I've got no clue. The Astronaut Explorer thing was a cool idea, but the more I thought about it, the less it led to any interesting mechanics or unique gameplay. Not to mention that it honestly wasn't that inspired design-wise. Wow, it's a game that takes place in space, where you explore stuff. I wonder what the main character should be. I had to come up with some better ideas if I wanted this project to work, to stand out among other games of the same genre. So I took a break from game development for a week or two. I started a notebook, where I wrote down all the ideas I had for the game. I caught up on some TV shows, played some games I'd been wanting to play. I thought long and hard about what direction I should take the game, until I had an idea. Robots! Not the 2005 Blue Sky Studios movie, but actually, yes, the 2005 Blue Sky Studios movie. Because have you seen how cool this world looks? Robots would be the perfect thing to populate my game. Think about it. Do we have to explain why characters can live in space? Nope. Robots don't need to breathe. Can they do acrobatic feats required of a platforming protagonist? Of course, if they were designed to. There's so much room for creativity and innovation. imagining what a galactic civilization designed by and for robots could look like. There's also so much potential for all sorts of different game mechanics to complement the gravity changing. So I came up with a loose idea for a story that I think I could build more mechanics around. This is the protagonist, an unnamed explorer robot, who, for one unknown reason or another, has been discarded like they were thrown in the garbage. They were built for exploring the surfaces of unknown planets, and as such would have several abilities to aid in their movement. They don't have much of an identity at the beginning of the game, because they have amnesia, and they can't remember who or what they were before. Much of the game would be spent trying to rediscover their lost identity, as well as take revenge on the person or group who threw them away. Speaking of that group, the antagonist of the game, the Big Bad, is a megacorporation hell-bent on expanding across the entire universe, run by a rogue AI who is given the central purpose of running an efficient business. If you've ever heard the thought experiment about a robot being told to run a paperclip factory, only to do its job too well and turn the whole world into a paperclip factory, it's basically that. Obviously, essentially enslaving the whole universe in pursuit of profit would be bad, so the protagonist really needs to stop them from doing that. That's all I have for a grand story so far, but it's way better than what I had before, which is, nothing. Also, I came up with a title for the game, which I think is pretty cool. Robotic Revolution. The main character is a robot, and they're performing a revolution against the evil corporation. But not only that, they're also revolving around planets. Get it? Anyway, I can actually add mechanics around this base idea, which will help me stay focused and consistently add things. Obviously, the story takes some inspiration from pieces of media that I like, such as 2005 Best Picture winner Robots, WALL-E, Pixar Spark Shorts Smash and Grab, and Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. All of these things are cool and have storytelling aspects that I want to emulate and expand on. Sorry to interrupt, but it's Marketing Jivan here. Did you know that 99.8% of current viewers on this channel are not subscribed? That's like really low, and probably not entirely true, but it's what Google told me. Still, if you like what I've been doing so far, be sure to lithium alloy the video and subscribe. Again, apologies for interrupting, and let's get back to your regularly scheduled programming. Alright, now that I have a direction to go in, I can actually start doing game dev things again. Looking at this game with fresh eyes after taking a week off, there's quite a few problems that I really need to take care of. First off, the play is just too darn fast. I didn't really notice because the camera's so zoomed out, but just running and jumping gets you far. I would have to make levels massive to compensate for how far you can go if the players stayed this fast. I literally cut the movement speed in half, and it still seems like this is a completely normal and reasonable speed to travel at. Next order of business, getting rid of Mr. Astronaut here. The more I look at him, the less I like him, and I think it's time for him to leave. Sure, this sphere's boring, but actually having an idea of where the player hitboxes is more important to me than keeping a character that's not even gonna be in the final game anymore. Sorry, Explorer guy, but it's time to go. Alright, time for some more interesting stuff. It's time to expand the player moveset. With what, you ask? Well, I don't actually know. To find out, we're going to take a look at what makes the movement in other 3D platformers good, which means that inside this devlog video is a case study about fun movement in platformer games. Keep in mind that I am very much an amateur in the world of game development, so take everything I say here with a grain of salt. Anyway, let's get into the case study thing. If you're looking for good controls in a platformer, then look no further than Super Mario Odyssey. The movement in this game is exquisite, with many different moves and ways you can combo them. One move in particular I want to focus on is the cap throw. With a simple button press, Mario can throw his partner Cappy in order to collect coins, destroy bricks, and possess enemies. Pretty simple, right? Wrong! Mario can also bounce off Cappy, leading to greater height gain. He can even do this in midair, chaining dives and bounces to cross very large gaps. With one simple action, a world of potential is unlocked for movement tricks, and it's super satisfying to learn Mario's moves and get more skilled in performing them. So we can learn that the movement you put into your platforming game should be versatile, with multiple functions that build off other moves to give the player options when traversing the world. Next we have A Hat in Time, which is another game that I like a lot. I just want to look at the base moveset of the main character, Hat Kid. She can jump, she can double jump, She can dive, and she can cancel that dive. She can do other things, of course, but these main 4 moves are what I found myself using over and over again as I played the game. Not only are they a very good way to traverse the world of A Hat in Time, they're also fun to pull off in sequence. Comboing jump, jump, dash, cancel just felt right. I had a lot of fun just testing the movement mechanics, seeing how far I could get with them. I think the takeaway here is that making even the most basic movements feel good to perform ensures that the player has fun even when they're just messing around. I don't really have a good specific game for this idea, but just thinking about what made many of the platformers I had fun with, fun, was their simplicity. Most platformers I've played have had just a few core mechanics that synergize with each other in interesting ways to create an experience where the player can decide how simple or complex they want the movement to be. Now I've got 3 design philosophies to keep in mind while I design the movement mechanics for Robotic Revolution. Once again, I am not a game design expert. You can totally ignore these ideas and make a great game, and you can also follow them and make a garbage game. It's just what I think makes platforming fun. Anyway, with those in mind, I've drafted some ideas for a new thing to add to the movement, and in the end, I came up with a dash move. Yeah, look, I know it's a little uninspired, but just hear me out. Is it versatile? Yes! You can use it to move around faster, jump further. I made it so you can dash in place for some mid-air stalling, and I also added a little mid-air jump you can do after the dash finishes for some extra height gain. Is it fun to do? I think so. It could use some cool visual and audio effects, sure, but I did find myself just playing around with the movement instead of working on it, which I hear is a good sign. Is it simple with potential for synergy? The simple part is definitely there, but I have to add more mechanics if I want more synergy. Here's one cool thing though. Remember how this is a game about swapping gravity? The dash keeps going in the same direction even when gravity changes around it. I think that's a cool enough interaction with the game's main mechanic to make the dash worth keeping in. In the interest of uploading more than once per decade, that's gonna be it for this devlog. I made some pretty good progress, and, more importantly, I've got lots more ideas for what to do next. I'll probably be adding on to the player's moveset and prototyping some more interesting visuals and game mechanics in the next episode. If you liked watching me work on Robotic Revolution, subscribe so you don't miss the next devlog. My name is Javon, and 2005 Blue Sky Studios' film Robots is peak fiction.